The Baku City Circuit will host the 2022 Formula One Azerbaijan Grand Prix, providing fans with a vista of modern and historic structures in Azerbaijan City. With an official ticket package from F1 Experiences, you can enjoy all of the Formula One racing excitement as well as the city of Baku. Race tickets, paddock and track tours, and an exclusive pit lane walk are all included in ticket packages. This year's Baku Grand Prix will use the soft, super softs, and ultra softs, which are one step softer than last year. The tires for the Baku Grand Prix are effectively 2 levels softer. The Baku Grand Prix is 2 months earlier this year, so it will be fascinating to watch how these softer compounds handle the cooler temperatures, which will be emphasized by the 4 p.m. local race start time, with track temperatures continuing to decrease during the race. Expect lockups throughout the braking area into Turn 1 due to the 2-kilometer-long main straight contributing to tire cooling. It's not only about putting temperature into the tires in the first place, but also about getting temperature into the tires at the same moment. Teams struggled last year to warm both the front and back tires at the same time, and this imbalance can contribute to a loss of grip on one of the axles, producing oversteer or understeer. Teams in Grand Prix. The Grand Prix included 10 teams and 20 drivers. Max Verstappen, Red Bull, and Charles Leclerc, Ferrari, remain on top in the 2022 listing with points 125 and 116 respectively. The rivalry between them stands tall to this day. In the last Monaco GP, Verstappen stood third, while Leclerc stood at fourth position. The Azerbaijan GP would be an interesting event to watch as they both have very close margins. While talking about Verstappen and Leclerc, let's go a little back where all this started. Max Verstappen and Charles Leclerc were destined for this. Not only were they vying for the Formula One championship, but they are also vying for it against each other. For the past few years, Ferrari and Red Bull have had their hands on 2 exceptional drivers. Despite indications of what a Leclerc-Verstappen F1 battle could look like in 2019, circumstances conspired to keep them apart for the time being, until 2022 at least. This is a rival of a contest that dominated their formative years, now revived with the stakes as high as possible. This is a resurrected version of a competition that dominated their formative years, now with even higher stakes. Max Verstappen and Charles Leclerc were destined for this. Not only are they vying for the Formula One championship, but they also are vying for it against each other. For the past few years, Ferrari and Red Bull have had their hands on 2 exceptional drivers, despite indications of what a Leclerc-Verstappen F1 battle could look like in 2019. Circumstances conspired to keep them apart for the time being, until 2022 at least. This is a resurrected version of a competition that dominated their formative years, now with even higher stakes. It'll be pretty close, Leclerc predicts. It's always been a tight race, especially in the junior divisions. I remember it being either me or him in karting. Of course, we were about the same age. So far, we've had quite a few go-karting battles. But we also made it to Formula One. Not only the 2 of us, but many of the drivers we know have already met at go-karting courses. And now we're all here in Formula One, essentially competing against top teams. That's wonderful to see that, and I really hope it can continue for a long time. In 2010 and 2011, Verstappen won the WSK Euro Series in the KF3 category for the 2nd year in a row, and he finished 2nd in the 2010 World Cup to future Red Bull F1 teammate Albon. Leclerc was victorious. The highlights of Leclerc's career include winning the 2012 WSK Euro Series in FK2 and coming 2nd in the category's European Championship the same year, finishing 2nd to Verstappen in the 2013 World KZ Final and winning the 2013 Winter Cup in KZ2. But he was still a mainstay at the front of the stage at these high-profile occasions. The 2 drivers had their most notable run-ins during Leclerc's title-winning WSK season in 2012. It's always surprising when such a powerful squad is in problems at the start of a season. The 2 most recent Grand Prix held were in Spain and Monaco. Now, if we talk about standing in Spanish GP, Max Verstappen stood first, conquering all the odds against him in a very spectacular way. Charles Leclerc was forced to retire from the race due to engine issues. In Monaco, Verstappen and Leclerc stood third and fourth respectively with a margin of a mere 1.41 seconds. Talking about the Monacan GP circuit, the event is staged on a tiny course set out in the streets of Monaco, with significant elevation changes, tight corners, and the tunnel, making it one of Formula One's most challenging tracks. Despite the low average speeds, the Monaco circuit is a dangerous place to race because of its narrowness, and the race frequently requires the assistance of a safety car. It is the only Grand Prix that does not follow the FIA's minimum race distance of 305 kilometers or 190 miles. Baku, Azerbaijan City Circuit. Design. Track is 6 kilometers in length. The circuit was projected to be the fastest street circuit in the world, with a top speed close to 360 kilometers per hour or 220 miles per hour. Valtteri Bottas set a new unofficial Formula One top speed record in qualifying for the 2016 European Grand Prix, when it claimed to have data showing him reaching 378 km per hour, or 235 miles per hour, eclipsing the previous record of 372 km per hour, or 231 miles per hour. Pirelli discovered that the bolt securing curbs to the ground were not drilled far enough into the ground, cutting 90% of the rear tires used in free practice for the 2016 Grand Prix. Pirelli also expressed concerns about the lack of runoff areas, which could be dangerous in the event of a high-speed puncture or mechanical failure. Valtteri Bottas was forced to withdraw from Free Practice 3 after a drain cover on his Williams FW28 fell free and caused serious damage. Many drivers complimented the course for providing a challenging mix of lengthy straights, slow technical portions, and limited margin for error due to the closeness of the walls. In 2021, Rosberg criticized the location of the pit lane entrance adjacent to the 350 km per hour or 220 miles per hour main straight, calling it one of the places I always found the most dangerous of the whole year. Baku City Circuit is a different and tough track as compared to the other tracks holding Grand Prix. In 2021, GP in Baku, Red Bull came in first while Ferrari came in fourth. For the second year in a row, the final qualifying session in Monaco ended under red flags. According to Max Verstappen, the responsible drivers need to be penalized, even if it's your own teammate. Verstappen was improving during the final run in Q3 before his teammate Sergio Perez forced red flags to fly after a crash at Portier. This is the second year in a row that the Dutchman has been denied a chance to improve, after Charles Leclerc crashed on the final flying lap during last season's visit to Monaco. Mercedes' troubles this season have come as no surprise to Charles Leclerc, but he disagrees with Lewis Hamilton's judgment that their title challenge is already finished. Mercedes has had a difficult start to the season, with the team struggling in the midfield throughout the first 7 races.